welcome to this edition of my soccer channel, Soccer Sharafino, baby. This is where we talk and we analyze football. You have the right to remain silent. Everything you say or you do shall and will be used against you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk football. 19 days after Newcastle rejected £110 million from Liverpool for Alexander Isak, the Swedish international has made his first statement publicly. This came during the Professional Footballer Association Award Gala that was held last night, where Alexander Isak was nominated in the PFA Team of the Year. I think that was expected. Everybody knew he was going to be nominated anyway. First of all, he apologized for not showing up. He said, "Promises have been broken, trust have been lost, relationship can't continue." Those were very strong, powerful statements that Alexander Isak has made, signifying his intention of not coming back. "I don't want to be integrated back into the team." Isak has spoken. Newcastle, they just have to act now. Alexander Isak has all the balls in his court. If he's not allowed to leave Newcastle for Liverpool this season, by next summer, he might go for free by invoking Article 17 of the FIFA regulations on player transfer and status of 2004, which was modified last year. And you know what the modification did? It gave enough power to players to move when they want to move, and that's what Alexander Isak might do, but I don't think it's going to get to that level. So what does the article say? The article must be invoked at least 15 days before the end of the season, that is come June, June 2026, but it will only get to that stage if Newcastle fails to sell him this summer and in the winter. But I think they're going to sell him because I believe a tap-in was involved. Liverpool has assured him, just be at loggerhead with Newcastle, we're going to buy you. So if he goes to Liverpool, it's good for all parties. But if he doesn't go to Liverpool, it's a bad business for Newcastle, because at the end of the day, he will go to Liverpool for free by invoking the Article 17 of the FIFA regulation on player transfer and status. And if he goes, Newcastle go be due for compensation, which is around 50 to 60 million. Yeah, 50 to 60 million. You want to say they just rejected £110 million for him? That's like 50 to 60 million pounds deficit. That is bad business. So for all parties, it's good. Alexander Isak move to Liverpool is materialized. They're just playing the waiting games. Both teams are playing the waiting games. We all know Newcastle are in shortage of strikers. They've sold Callum Wilson. Alexander Isak has gone upset without leave. Then they are not buying any strikers now. Liverpool also need a striker. They need, and they've assured Alexander Isak that they are going to go all out for him. If Liverpool pays the money now, Newcastle are going to drive a hard bargain out of it. If Newcastle buy those two strikers that they need first, Liverpool is going to say, wow, you don't need Alexander Isak. So they might be able to drive in some bargain too. But what Newcastle is doing is like, you know what, this guy is over his head, but we don't have to sell him. We don't need to sell him, which we all know they are just bluffing. At the end of the day, both parties are doing the waiting game. It's like a game of chess. Newcastle are interested in Nicholas Jackson, Isak of Brentford. That's another twist, because apparently what goes around comes around. Isak has also done the Isak at Brentford. He has deleted all Brentford from his official page. He has gone absent without leave. He has vowed he's not going to play for Brentford again. He also wants to move. What are players all about these days? I can't just understand. At the end of the day, you have to look after yourself. That is what I believe. That's what the club will do. The club has done this in so many ways, just that is when the player does it that if gets blown out of proportion. You know what? I think the clubs do this all the time as well. You know, when you get a player for particular position and in that same season or another season you get another player who will rival him in that position, at the end of the day you're gonna stick with the one that suits your philosophy, the one that plays ball, the one that has more value than the other one. You get cheap them out. So players now also taking matters into their own hands. It's all about us. And Ibrahimovic has spoken. He said Alexander Isak is a Swedish boy. He wants to be like me. He wants to win that titles, but he can't win those titles if he's playing for Newcastle and is competing in the Carabao Cup. So that's it on Alexander Isak and Newcastle. The PFA Team of the Year has been released unexpectedly. Sales is the goalkeeper, Saliba, Gabriel, Van Dijk, Kakes. Those are the defenders. In the midfield you have McAllister, you have Gravenberch, you have Rice, and in the attack you have Salah, you have Isak, and you have Chris Wood. Why did they go for the 4-3-3 formation? Because that was 4 defenders. Why not 3-4-3? No, just to accommodate for more midfielders. Probably a player like Kuna or a player like Mbeumo. Those guys were fantastic last season. Also, Mohamed Salah has won PFA Player of the Season, while Morgan Rogers won the PFA Young Player of the Year. That is debatable, you know. Why not Cole Palmer? I know Cole Palmer had a dwindling season. It was bright at the beginning of the season, but the last other part of the season, it wasn't just good enough. So that comes to the end of the program. Ladies and gentlemen, acknowledge me. Click the like button, subscribe to the channel, join the community of people I say this to all the time. Eshe, Dalu, gracias, merci, obrigado, Kate Million Forture. Thanks a million bunch, guys. Soccer Sherafino.